What's going on, guys? I know it's been a minute, but today we are back with another video, and we're going to be listening to more Tristantheend. I actually did a video to his album Pumpkin Fire May 2000. It is also on the channel, so if you want to go check that out before you watch this one, that's totally fine. But this time around, we're going to be listening to 3TIMES Shameontheworld. It is by Tristantheend. He is a really talented producer, a friend of mine, a longtime supporter of the channel who I really appreciate. And there are a lot of features on this who I assume to be the artists, the rappers who are going to be rapping over these tracks. And, you know, his music is just always very sample heavy. It's always very different and unique and really exciting to listen to. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys are interested in the project, I will leave a Bandcamp link to it in the description and a SoundCloud link. And I will also link Tristan's Instagram if you want to go and give him a follow as well. I would really appreciate it. If you make music of your own and you would like to send it in to me and have me make a video for it, you can reach out to me via email, Discord, Instagram. You know, we can talk about that as well. I would love to do a video for your tracks and for your music if you're interested in that. Okay, so let's see. So the cover art looks like it's the world crying and it's on fire. I mean, I'm excited for the fire that's going to be, you know, blessing my ears today. So I don't know what to make of the cover art going into it. I'm assuming that it will make a little bit more sense as we listen to the tracks, but it looks cool. I like the cartoony, you know, art style. I like the parental advisory, you know, in the bottom left. It's definitely something I would use for some cover art. You know, it looks really cool. It looks really cool. So whoever made that, props to them. Did I forget to mention anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something. No, I don't think I am forgetting anything. I think that's it. I'm ready to jump into the music if you are. I'm ready if you are. So let's get it, man. Track 1 is Melancholia. So weird hearing the happy sample flipped like this. It sounds so dark and sad. I hope Bandcamp continues to just play it into track 2 because I want to hear the transition. It does, cool. Okay, yeah, so we're on to track 2 now. Real quick, that intro, it was, you know, I understand why it's called Melancholia. I love the way that you flip the sample. You know, it's originally a very happy sounding, upbeat sort of doo-wop kind of a sample, and it sounds sad, it sounds ambient, it sounds dreary and kind of slow and like it drags on, and it you know, Melancholia is a perfect name for that intro. I like that it's purely instrumental, and I like that it doesn't, you know, overstay its welcome. It's really quick, it's just a minute long more or less, and we just jump right into it. So the second track. So track 2 is the Goliath, and the artist on this, the rapper on this is Woolman Grundy. I love the way that the pitch is wavering slightly back and forth, you know? Love the chops.
Payphone telemarketing, payphones ringing, you might want to take those. Opportunity going off in the phone booth, couple quarters to hold you accountable.
Oh, opportunity going off in the phone booth with the little phone ringing ad-lib was cool.
I've amounted to every dollar amount on my bounty too. I've also raised the price of $1 cost in my county too. If you dip the lawn of no man's land and become a snowman, damn, How I'ma build a character. I brought a chisel not for snowballs, but avalanches back to being so called.
The vocal mix here is very clean. I love his energy. I love his performance. I love how clearly you can understand him and hear his vocals. You know, was it this one that I mentioned that I could have used a little bit more clarity in his vocals? I remember there was one track you sent it in, and I said that the vocal mix could use some work. You said you were going to tweak it. I don't think it was this one. This one doesn't sound familiar to me, like I've heard it before, but the clarity to his vocals, you know, the diction, you can clearly understand all of his bars, and his flow is just so awesome right now. The sample chops in the background, again, sort of a melancholy vibe, really slow and eerie, creepy almost, fitting for the Halloween sort of period, the October fall period. But I'm enjoying it, man. I'm trying to catch the bars because he's his performance is so charismatic and compelling, and it, you know, the way that he's rapping makes me want to listen because he's got such a serious tone to it, you know. So
No God, Adam bombed the planet, the canon version of your God. Even Eve out of the garden, so odd. No piece of the devil's food.
I like how his main vocals have that slight delay and reverb, but so it sounds like it's a little bit more ambient and airy and wide open. But the ad libs and the vocals that he recorded supporting the verse, they're really dry and very far forward. So it's almost like this very sudden voice from like beyond that just shows up, supports the main vocal, and then just drops back out of nowhere. It, again, adds to the eeriness and the contrast between the main vocal and the ad libs, or not the ad libs, but like the background vocals or the supporting vocals is also really nice to the way that they were mixed. Crazy, man. Hey, he went off. He went off. I love the sample chops here, man. I'm assuming this is going to transition into track 3. Wow. That was a really cool transition into track 3 too. It was a little sudden, but that's just because Bandcamp buffers a little bit between tracks. So there's a slight pause between every one. Already starting off with a very drastically different vibe here that I enjoy. That last track, man, I don't know really what more I can say about it. You know, I really like how slow and eerie it kind of is. The sample chops were really cool. I like the lack of really loud drums on there. You know, I like the way that you let the sample and its bounce sort of carry the rhythm to the song. And, you know, relying kind of heavily on Woolman Grundy's flow for us to keep that pace, keep that tempo. I like it. I like the fact of, I don't want to say simple because the chops are pretty complex, but the minimalism to the production, you know, where it really is just the sample and how you chopped it. I love that about it, you know, and really making do with as little as possible. I think it sounds really cool. Let's you know, listen to track 3, Curses, with Masongo Ogora. I hope I said that right.
Ogora, put some respect on my name. Mask on, words to the son of Donda. God signed Project Flywall, Mitsubishi created Honda. Now smart faces every moment our generation.
I'm really trying to catch what he's saying. I feel like his vocals are drowned out a little bit by the vocals in the sample. And don't get me wrong, I love the sample. I love the soulful vibe to it. I like that there are, you know, drums on this one, and it's got a little bit more of an upbeat feeling, a little bit of a brighter feeling to it. I just wish that his vocals weren't drowned out by the sample as much. Now, how I would do that personally, I can't really say. I don't know if it would be boosting its levels, or if it would be compression and then gain, adding some gain to it. I don't know how I would make the vocals stand out a little bit more from the sample chops. But I do wish that I could understand him a little bit more clearly.
Black boys been able to swim gracefully in hot waters. Diving pussy back so Henny and Jim for clear conscience.
The production is flawless, though. I really can't say anything wrong with the production. Even here, where you slowed it down, it still sounds fire. Yeah, man. This sounds really cool. Yeah, we headed into track 4, Tylenol, with Kea. So yeah, I think that the only real criticism that I have for track 3 is that the clarity of Masongo Ogora's vocals, you know, I just feel like it's lacking in that aspect. I wish I could understand him a little bit more clearly, and I wish his vocals stuck out a little bit more because the samples kind of drowned him out. Beyond that, I think it's flawlessly produced. I like the mix on it. You know, the mixing on the production, the vocals are very bright, the drums are crisp. It's a really cool sounding song. Track 4, like I said, it's Tylenol with Kea.
Outs like bombshells, looking for retreat with the law's help. Wanna hear my girls like
She's got a sultry voice. I like it, man.
pray my people
Really
follow me,
smooth. And the sample chops accompany her verse beautifully, dude.
Get played, switch my blade. Forever means nothing. Live 5 times a day. Women watching over me.
Nice.
Keep My burrow on my chest, ruz around her, we all hurt again. Don't make excuses, take it out on your kin.
I really like the panning on the hi-hats too, how they go back and forth. That's really interesting.
I kick my feet on his couch, get too comfortable, slick with my mouth, loves a drought till you pray for the...
I like the fade out there. That's a really cool way to end it. So not really a transition into Talk to Me First. It's just a fade out. Still nicely done. Yeah, Tylenol was really cool. I love Kaya's voice. Is it Kaya or Kaya? You know, I hate mispronouncing names, but I'm going to say Kaya. It looks like Kaya to me, so that's how I'm going to say it. Love the way her voice sounds. I think it sounds really smooth. It's kind of like a deeper voice. It's a sultrier voice, and the brightness to the sample chops in contrast to that, it's pleasant to me. I personally like that sound. I think it's cool. It's a little slower than Curses, but it's still got that soulful kind of element to it that I also really enjoy. So that's a nice track too. Talk to Me First with Meerkat. Fire. Different, but fire. That seems like it's just an instrumental, sort of an interlude, but I love it. The distorted sort of like guitar sound to it. Awesome, really. It's just dark, you know, and I like how you're playing and really leaning into that darker sound. Dollar Menu with, oh man, Kawhiatus? Kawhiatus? I want to say it's Kawhiatus, like Kawhi Leonard, but hiatus is also a word. Kawhiatus. Ah, man.
Dollar Menu, now we eating pasta with the lobster. Chop it up with monsters, got imposters on my roster. Father to a daughter, if you cause a bother, slaughter them. They thought I was Luther, they caught me with the chopper. Falter, we just some dogs with no collars. They felt like I had a home. This is my old crib that we lost, but my whole vision will on to no products. But I just miss my old Honda. This is a prelude to my saga, trying to reach Nirvana.
I like the filtering here, transitioning into the second half of the track. Man, he was rapping.
My nose been leaking blood. My eyes are swollen shut. The lie's been prominent as fuck. I'm just a lost soul trying to find my way back home. And I know what glitters isn't always gold. What bends don't always fold. For a slice of mine, I think my time is slowly closing.
Damn, dude. And the sampling, dude. Yeah. That is filthy. This is a gorgeous sample, dude. Killed it. Oh, this sounds so gorgeous, dude. He was rapping like crazy. I was getting like a Conway the Machine or like a Benny the Butcher, you know, Griselda in general, sort of a vibe from his verse. Just an awesome performance. You know, he raps like he means it. And your production underneath is just so solid. It's beautifully sampled. The chops are there, just adding to his verse. But his verse is also adding to your beat. You know, sometimes you just get that one song where the rapper just feels like they were, you know, made for the beat, and vice versa. So I think that, you know, he complimented your production instead of just rapping over it. It sounds like nothing I've heard really recently. It's just awesome. I love the way you use the samples, man. It's just, you keep nailing it, you know? You just keep nailing it with the chops, and it really is like nothing that I've heard recently. It really is impressive every time. Track 7 is Heels Freestyle with Samad M. Completely switching up the vibe again. Look at that. So versatile. So versatile.
Why the TB in my system? Finger twisting, keep me calm while I'm contemplating 21 years. The higher me watch the soulless while microphone is on the case and telemarker. I keep my eyes low so I see the growth.
I like the switch up here.
Bleeding on the road, I'm on the road.
Oh, look at the bass. Really like how the production was picking up there. And the versatility, like I said, is just insane. You know, just switching up the vibes and making this beat for Samad to just, you know, flow over. It really, again, sounds perfect for him. And his vocals are just cut through the mix so cleanly. You know, his flow is just, he found such a cool pocket for that beat. I mean, honestly, I'm finding myself, you know, repeating myself because it's just so consistent and so, you know, so fire all the way through. And I hate to feel like I'm repeating myself, but the quality is just so crazy, you know? It's setting such a high bar. It's held to such a high standard, and it's just always nailing it. The sampling is always so creative and unique. It's like if I ever hear a beat that you made, I know that you made it. You know, the sound is yours, and every artist that you've had on here, you know, to rap over your production has just killed it every single time. So, man, I would just say you guys are made for this. Just to keep going. You know, this track is Connect with Meerkat again. I love the chords, man. It's a nice little instrumental interlude as well. I'm going to rewind it a little bit just to catch the transition into the next track, but I wanted to pause it to talk about it a little bit. I love the filtered guitars, and the chords are just so dreamy, and they remind me of like summertime, you know, like staring at a sunset. It's just such a pleasant, you know, little instrumental. It's such a nice interlude. Really like it. Let's rewind it a little bit and hear this transition into The End of Days. This sounds so strange. There's the bounce. Love it. Is there a transition? Oh, there is. Yeah, okay, so it transitions into uncomfortably near. Man, that's tough to say. So that's like two little instrumental tracks, one after the other. Man, The End of Days, it has a really warm, like sorrowful, somber, slightly reminiscent sort of a feeling to it. It's definitely one of those tracks that sort of sets a mood for you to like zone out and drift a little bit. But I love it, you know, I love it. I think it was really well done. It's not one of those tracks that are super ambient and spacey and full of reverb. It's just that warmth to it. It's just comfortable. It's like freshly washed, you know, soft sheets that you can just kind of fall into. It's really, that's a special one. That's a special instrumental right there. I'm glad you put No One on that. You know, that is awesome as is. Track 10. Oh, nice. Back with the soul. Let's go. I love this. It makes me feel happy. This one makes me feel happy. Picks up a little bit here. I really like this. How many different samples are on this one, man? Or is this the same one, just flipped differently? The use of like white noise too, and static. It's like, you know, it's like nothing that I listen to very frequently. It's so different. It's so radically different from what is mainstream, and it still sounds so good. And it's like, it's just so fun to challenge myself sometimes and just listen to something that's different and outside of my comfort zone and still find myself able to appreciate it. It's, you know, it's really fun listening to your music. It always is very, very fun, Tristan. And for some reason, this part right here gives me like Wild West vibes. Before the switch up. Yeah, this is just so special. I mean, I know that we're you know, barely past halfway through the project, but I already feel like you really stepped up your game from Pumpkin Fire May 2000, and that was awesome, you know? This is just the consistency, the sampling, the soul that is in this album, you know? There's just something about it, and some of these tracks that just make me feel happy, you know? They come on and I just smile, because they just... I don't know what it is that they do, but there's something in my head that they trigger that just, it gives me a really nice feeling, you know? The soulful samples, it's awesome. This is a blast, you know? This is just so fun. I Hear Him Breathe with Mary Sue.
I slowly stand. Teeter at the harbor, couldn't tell the plan. Oh, he hated they deceive his friends. The hope that they be caving in to play pretend. Nigga man, praying to your saving for the pain to end.
Oh, what a way to transition into the switch up, man. A little bit of a reggae vibe here now, huh? This is what I'm talking about. Just makes me happy, you know? It sounds so jovial and fresh. What a breath of fresh air, man. What a breath of fresh air, yeah. Mary Sue killed his performance on that. Reminds me a lot of Earl Sweatshirt. You know, that's a compliment in itself. I mean, Earl is such a crazy lyricist, but it was really his performance and that sort of deep, relaxed voice that reminded me of Earl. The switch up, I think, was expertly done, you know, and the little reggae vibe towards the end, it brought these happy feelings up in me, man, that I really enjoyed it. What was it that I said? It was jovial, youthful. It's a breath of fresh air in how different it is, you know. So I think that also is part of the reason why I enjoy it so much, is because it's unique, and it's so nice to hear something that is not the same as everything else. Track 12 is In the Sky. In the Sky is actually another artist who participates in a lot of Putting Y'all On episodes. So is he on this, or is this just a coincidence? You know, let's see. I feel like this is what an alien invasion would sound like. You would hear something like this and you would look up and there would just be spaceships, you know? And you would be getting abducted and probed and shit. Yeah, this is the soundtrack to War of the Worlds. I'm gonna be real. I think you lost me a little bit with this part right here. It's all of the high pitched ones, the high pitched sounds. I feel like it's going on for a little too long. This transition where you go back down, I think it could come a little earlier. Yeah, man, that one's cool. That one's really cool. I think that for a purely instrumental track, I'm pretty sure it's the longest instrumental of the album so far, and I do feel like it overstayed its welcome just a little bit during that, like 3/4 of the way into it when you went into the really high-pitched sounds. I feel like you just kind of stayed there for a little too long, and it just felt a little repetitive, but when we jump back down for the ending of the song, I enjoyed that. I would have loved to hear someone rap over it too, you know? I think that might have stopped it from feeling like it's too long, because it is only still 2 minutes, so yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, that one just didn't resonate with me as much as some of the other ones. That might be the first one where I'm a little iffy on it, you know? 12 tracks in, that's very impressive. Track 13 is Let It Be with Swordbearer. Let's go.
Again, honesty was my friend.
help me figure out the place to be.
This one sounds familiar. This might be the one that you showed me. It kind of, I don't know why, but it does sound familiar to me. And if this is the one that you showed me, the vocals sound much clearer, so I love what you did with it. I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
My feet planted won't slip, sending words from the page to the lips as I spit what was writ. Wasn't caught up on my past decisions, get the ball going from my actions. I was passive, now I'm acting. Taking flight, spread the wings, feather formed. I rejoice as I sing.
I love the vintage sort of pop feel to this one. Yeah, this one's got this like 80s, 90s pop vibe to it that I love. Transitions into a track called So Much Time. That's cool. I like how the quote ties into the next track. Yeah, that one is an awesome song. Love the sample there. The only thing I would say about it is that I don't know if I believe Swordbearer's performance. You know, what I'm trying to say is I think it was it Coitus on Dollar Menu that I said it gave me like a Griselda sort of a vibe to it, where he had a lot of charisma in his performance and he was into it and he was emphatic and he had a powerful presence. It was either him or Meerkat, I think. It might have been Woolman Grundy, but I don't think it was that early in the project that I said that. And what I mean is that, you know, Swordbearer, it feels like he lacks that presence on the song, performance-wise. You know, he's got the flow, he's got the voice to make this track his own. It just feels like he might have felt, I don't know, a little unsure of himself, or maybe that really is just his style and I'm not familiar with it. But I would have loved to hear him be a little bit more emphatic, a little bit more powerful on this song in the way that he performs it. You know, a little bit more confident. Just to make what he's saying more believable, I think. You know, I would have loved to hear him just own it. Own it a little bit more. Beyond that, like I said, I love his voice sounds awesome. I like the flow that he chose, the pocket that he found for the beat, and I love that pop style that, you know, you sampled on here. It's really well done. This one's So Much Time with Mosiah A Day. Now, we saw a lot of him on Pumpkin Fire, so I'm excited to hear from him again.
Future, not more, just a long ladder up to the sky, watch me back from it. From all the sad madness that I played through my mind, it's a long battle. Almost put the pen down, I still think about it. So much time, but I'm frozen in my step.
That's so cool, the way he's playing with the sample.
Sense in my head.
I don't think we've heard a rapper interact with the sample like that on the project so far. That's really cool.
So much time, but I'm frozen in my step.
Yeah, man, so that is really interesting because I feel like that's the first time that the rapper interacts with the sample on the project. So either he heard the sample and decided to take the lyrics from the sample and incorporate them into his verses in somehow, or he wrote his verses and then his vocals were sampled and placed along with his verse in the song. Either way, I love how Mosiah, the rapper, became part of the production, you know, with this one. Instead of just, you know, putting lyrics over it, he actually co-produced it, basically. You know, if he's making his verse part of the production of the song, that's just a really different approach that I really appreciate. So yeah, that sounds really cool. I like the guitars, I like the slower pace to it, and I like the way that his vocals sound so airy. You know, it feels like he did multiple takes and there's like white noise going on along with it. It's almost like he's rapping to us from a very old television set. You know what I mean? It's a really cool, unique sound. I like it a lot. Frank with Mary Sue and Meerkat. Running the vocals through an amp like that is just awesome. I love that bass. Another switch up.
This man right here, they grill, you know. Don't look at the outside appearance. I see him in action. He said, I should have told. He said, don't you ever cares about man, put your best and don't acknowledge him.
That's really cool.
I said, give me my pressure for the day.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I know the bigger the flower, the...
And the transitions right into the world's finest. Yeah, that's cool, dude. You know, I started to zone out a little bit towards that last speech, but when the music sort of started dying down and it brought me back, you know, and I was able to focus in on what he was saying, and what he was saying started to resonate a little bit more with me, that you know, that was just really cool. That spoke to me a little bit, you know. So I really liked that, actually. I really do. A lot of switch ups on that one. That one was pretty dope too. Some of the switch ups, I feel like the transitions aren't smooth. They're just that one fades out and another fades in, you know, with the white noise being the constant. I thought that was cool, just so that we're never listening to complete silence, you know. That was nice. I like it. I like it. The world's finest with big flowers.
The way to stop feeling, stop healing. I couldn't rewind myself to reason. It only happens when you living true to you. It's how saturated the meaning through the music. Shine, the way the petals spread, mine with the affirmations. Regardless of the day, I do an archetype than a novel. Your own mythology can carry you apart until you hollow. Shadow of doubt, remain close to it.
Again, I feel like the samples were sort of drowning out Big Flowers' vocals here. I do enjoy his lyrics from the ones that I picked out, and his flow was really tight on this. I wish that I could understand his voice just a little bit better, and that it wasn't so drowned out by the samples. And in terms of the samples, I don't know how you process them, but they sound like those really old pianos that you would hear in like a saloon in the Wild West or whatever, like the really old pianos that are slightly, you know, detuned. So I enjoy it. I think it sounds like classic and vintage in a really weird way, and I enjoy it. It's gonna transition right into the last track, Mama's Boy.
You know, I take what it is somewhere. Just, you know, this like it's the place that made me. Could have had.
I'm definitely getting down on my prayer mat. I'm praying. I'm asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for my family's forgiveness. I'm asking for safety for my deeds on earth. I feel like try to really handle all my affairs.
Man, I'm not really sure. Getting to the point where you're comfortable with what you've done in this existence, in this plane.
Let them know how much I love them and I cherish the memories we shared together.
You know, this part of the sample with like the horns and the brightness, it almost sounds like Heaven's Gates, you know, this super triumphant. It's like now that, you know, your life is over, now that the world has ended, and you're coming into, you know, the afterlife now, and it's time to just celebrate, I guess. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting here. That is really cool. What a way to end it. That's a great sample to end on, man. Yeah, the concept of that last track is really cool. Asking people, I'm assuming they were the people who were, you know, on the album, how they spend their last days. And most of them mentioned spending it with loved ones, you know, and just making sure that they live whatever life that they have left to the fullest. It's really cool. It is a really cool concept. Man, what a way to end it. That's such a nice... it's a beautiful way to tie it all together, dude. That's cool. It's making me feel a certain way, you know? Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's really, really cool. Listen, guys, if you want something that's going to challenge you a little bit, if you want something that's new, that's fresh, that's interesting, you know, it plays a lot with the production, and it's got, you know, great verses on it and really clean features. I mean, you should definitely click that link in the description and check this out. You know, it's you can listen to it on Bandcamp and on SoundCloud. Those are the two links that I'm going to put in the description. And if you feel like supporting Tristan, you can buy this. I think it says it's $5. You can buy the digital album on Bandcamp. I would really appreciate that as well. You should definitely check this out, dude, because it's so well put together. It's not really that long, even though it's 17 tracks. A lot of them tend to be on the shorter side, and it's just such a masterclass in sampling and in you know, production and processing, and just it's gonna make you feel a bunch of different things, you know. And it's so unique, it's so special, and like I said, if you're looking for something that's just different, this is gonna be a breath of fresh air, you know. I love listening to Tristan's music because it's always consistently just at a really high quality, and it's always fresh and unique, and it sounds like him, you know. It really feels like he's in his own lane, so I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. Definitely check this out and support Tristan, and follow him as well. The link to his Instagram is in the description. This is just something else, man. You really took this to another level. You really did. After Pumpkin Fire, you just elevated every aspect. The transitions and the samples that you chose, the different vibes, the different lanes that you went in. It was just so versatile, and everything was so well done. You killed it, dude. You really did. So everybody, thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys. Support the channel any way that you see fit. I will see you guys later. Until then, everybody stay safe. And as always, peace out.